And in this video, you're going to find out what you should do when a woman looks at you. I know you wonder what to do when that woman gives you a glance and then looks away. After all, what does that mean? Should you look back? Should you go talk to her right away, or just keep looking? Is she interested? Have you ever been in a situation like this? Imagine you're walking down the street, at work, or at the mall. Suddenly, you see someone who, for some reason, catches your attention. It could be something simple, like her laughter, an interesting tattoo, or maybe the clothes she's wearing, whether they're flashy or casual. That something different is what makes you take a second look. And you know what's even more curious? Women do this with men too. So, what could make them glance at you without you even noticing right away? These situations are common, and what most women notice first about a man can be a unique characteristic, something that grabs their attention naturally and spontaneously. It's like when you observe someone walking by and something about them just seems different and interesting. Let's explore this further and understand what really captures their attention. Now, imagine you see a guy who's going bald, just like you. Naturally, your gaze goes straight to his head. You start observing, maybe trying to see if his hair looks like yours, or perhaps because he reminds you of someone you've met before. This is totally normal. We tend to notice things that catch our eye, whether because of appearance, because it's different, or even because it brings back a memory. When you look at this person, they'll probably notice that they're being watched. And what do? They look back, of course. They want to understand why you're staring. In their mind, several thoughts could be running through, like, does he know me? Is there something weird about me? Or is he checking me out? At the same time, you might be thinking, what's different about this person? That's how it works. Exchanging glances creates curiosity on both sides. Now, imagine you're at the gym, and suddenly, an older man starts staring at you. You walk past him, and he doesn't stop looking. At that moment, you start to wonder, why is he looking at me? So, you automatically look back, trying to see if he's going to keep staring. This doesn't mean you're interested in that person. It's just that you're trying to figure out the reason behind that persistent gaze. It's like a natural curiosity that arises when someone pays more attention to you than usual. To sum it all up, when someone looks at you a lot, it's normal to feel the urge to look back, right? This happens to most women too. They're not necessarily interested from the start. Often, they're just trying to figure out if you're going to keep looking. But if your gaze sparked their curiosity, it could be the start of a little spark of attraction. It's like your glance is a door opening to a potential connection. The big secret here is how you can tell if there's interest or not by the way she looks at you. The way she directs her gaze can give you valuable clues. And if you're enjoying this topic, don't forget to leave your like down below. Let's keep going on this journey together. Now, I'm going to share something that can really make a difference in your life. The vast majority of women, really most of them, can't maintain an interested gaze for too long. In fact, often they lack the courage to hold that look. And it's not just them, many men can't do it either. When women go to parties, bars, or even the gym, they may feel attracted to some men, but the way they look is quite subtle. They don't stare in the way you might want, expecting a clear sign that would make you feel confident enough to approach them. And how do I know this? Because, in fact, I have never met a friend who had the courage to maintain eye contact for a long time. When a woman goes to a party, for example, she might look at the men who catch her attention, but usually, she quickly looks away. It's as if she's curious, but a bit insecure. If she notices that the man is looking back, she might hold the gaze for a second. But most of the time, she ends up quickly averting her eyes. It's curious, right? Even when a woman is very interested, she tends to glance and then look away, as if she's testing the waters before diving in headfirst. This is a pretty common reaction because many times, they don't want to seem too available or feel vulnerable. Therefore, this exchange of glances can be filled with mixed messages. What appears to be a simple look may actually be full of insecurities and doubts. Thus, the dance of gazes becomes a game of trial and error, where often the woman is as interested as the man, but doesn't know how to clearly express that. But why do they do this? The truth is that maintaining eye contact is a real challenge. Keeping your gaze fixed on someone you find interesting takes a lot of courage, and many women fear rejection. This is something they often don't know how to handle because, culturally, they're not so used to taking the initiative when it comes to flirting. When a woman looks at a man, it may seem like she's interested, but in reality, it could be a way of testing the waters. They don't usually take the first step directly. Often, the initiation of a flirtation comes from them, but in a more subtle way, like giving an approving glance or a smile. This small validation is what a man would like to receive to feel secure enough to approach them. So, it's as if there's a game going on. The woman throws the look, the man responds, and then she observes his reaction. If he seems interested and confident, that might encourage her to open up a little more. But if she feels that he's not that interested, it's quite possible that she will look away, protecting herself from potential rejection. In this way, this dance of glances transforms into a way to communicate interest without exposing themselves too much, maintaining a certain level of emotional safety. In practice, you may have seen this happen. The woman gets all dressed up, puts on pounds of makeup, and goes to the party full of energy. But instead of being direct, she ends up giving contradictory signals. Sometimes she looks at the man but quickly looks away, as if she made a quick assessment and decided it wasn't the right moment to keep staring. And you, all dressed up and smelling nice, waiting for her to look at you again, find yourself not knowing what to do. It's a confusing situation, isn't it? Many times, you hope to receive that validation you're looking for, but it doesn't happen. This makes you hesitate to approach her, and the truth is that she might also be feeling the same doubt. It's quite common that the women who receive the most attention at parties or bars aren't necessarily the prettiest, but rather those who seem friendlier and more open. They smile, make eye contact, and show that they are available to chat. Men, including you, end up waiting for this receptiveness as a sign that it's time to approach. Now, here's my golden tip for you. When you look at a woman and she returns your gaze, even if it's just for a second before looking away, what you should do is hold that gaze. Instead of exiting this limbo of awkwardness by merely exchanging glances, maintain eye contact for a little longer. This can create an instant connection, and by doing this, you're showing confidence and interest. Remember, this is your chance to take action and take a step toward her.